Monday, April 29th, in case you was wondering when this video was shot. Okay, first thing we want to do on the passenger side, or driver side rather, get these two pipes. This side is set up pretty much like the passenger side was. Your two rear pipes are separate. Front two pipes are all one piece with the rest of the headers, collectors and all. And I'm going to try to fit these up in here first. And hopefully we can. Drag his light over here. If I can. It's going to get tangled up. There we go. These bright lights here are really kind of too bright. And they make some heat. Since it's not too hot, that's not too big of a deal for me though. Get up here where I can see my exhaust ports. Now we're going to try to get these two pipes up in here first, and hopefully the rest of the header assembly will go on in there. This one is the end one, I'm pretty sure. I think this one may or may not go first. Let's just put it up in here and take a look. Okay, looks like it was going to kind of fit. Maybe. Okay, it's looking alright, but it looks like I need to put my other one in first. We'll see how that works out. Sometimes you just gotta stick them up in there with no bolts. And then go from the top. Do that. Okay, these are kind of looking like everything's going to clear pretty nice. This rear one is really close to the steering box, and I remember having to dent the old one, but I'm not for sure if you can even see what I'm doing. But we're going to try to film this anyway. My hands are going to be in the way, I'm sure. I'm going to get this middle collector header pipe up to the flange first. Got to grab a hold of both of them. Like I said, you can't really see exactly what I'm doing here. And hopefully I can stick a bolt in and the other one will stay in place and not fall to the ground and make me cuss, because I got to get off of this bucket that I'm standing on and get back under the car and put that header back in place. I'm not going to put both bolts in each one. I'm just going to put one bolt in each pipe so that I can move them around as much as I can when I go to try to manipulate the rest of the header up in here. Where's that bolt hole? I have a little trouble finding the bolt hole, but you know what? This side might be a little easier. I'm hoping. One can hope. Oh yeah, I tell you what. That pipe is a lot farther away from my steering box than the original was, so that's a good thing. Okay. Now it's all coming back to me. Ouch! Hit my head. Okay. Just showing you what we gotta go through to put headers on this car, or at least on this side. Okay, this header, it's gotta go up through that hole. Look at that. Oil filter's in the way. Gotta remove your oil filter before you're putting headers on this car with this engine. So I've got to take my oil filter off. Okay, after about 20 minutes of hunting for my oil filter wrench, which I found hanging conveniently on the wall where it would be easy for me to find. You know how that goes. You put something in a certain place so it will be easy to find. But you forget that you did that. And, you know, oh my goodness, this thing is going up in there. I'm worried this is going too easy. I'm not sure. I think it's going to bolt up pretty loose. What I got to do now is while I'm holding this with my left hand, which is attached to the arm that is probably blocking your view of everything, I'm going to try to take my other hand and manipulate these two pipes into their holes where they belong. Probably, no, I won't. What I was getting ready to say is I will probably have to put a jack under this header, which I probably still will. I don't know if it's all the way up in there or not. I can't see. I think it is. Now, will it stay? All right. Now, hopefully I can go up top and bolt it in. This is going way too easy. Worries me. Something's going to go wrong. Okay, it looks like it's pretty close to where it should be. Now, you gotta be careful about when you go to moving it around. Oh yeah, one bolt went in. Oh, this is too easy. This side is going to make it look real easy, but I guarantee you the other side was nothing like that. That's one bolt in. Two bolts in. Yeah, oh yeah. We got one bolt in each of the rear pipes. And actually that one has not started yet. Something you gotta be careful of. Sometimes you think you got it started and you don't, and you'll either cross thread it or you go turning on it and it'll just fall out. The weight of the header will pull it back out. Let's see. Oh yes, pulling the header up up towards the engine. Oh, I like it. I think I deserve for this side to go that easy after what I went through this weekend getting that passenger side done. Wow, this thing might be ready to start up tonight. Maybe. We'll see. That one's feeling a little funny. Let's just still turn it. I don't feel like it's tight or cross-threaded. There we go. Just pull the header up into place. Alright. Look at that. Now before we bolt it up tight, we're going to slide it, get our gaskets in there, and I'm going to show you what I do to make sure the gaskets are on right, and something else I do to make it a little easier. Alright, I want to show you a little something else. Okay, you always want to make sure your gasket lines up with your ports pretty well. Now if you notice, the shape of my gasket doesn't really match up with the head. Now, before you start having any bad thoughts about this gasket is for a 429 Cobra Jet head, which has bigger exhaust ports. And the heads on my Torino are not the actual 70 Cobra Jet heads, and 71 I think had Cobra Jet heads. They are the police interceptor heads, but they have been ported out to match the gaskets for a Cobra Jet. Now, if you notice, I got two bolts in here to make sure everything's lining up good. Everything looks pretty good, don't it? Except for the mismatching of the ports, which actually wouldn't hurt anything. I want to show you what happens if you flip the gasket over. This is something you need to look out for, especially if you're working on a car like this in crowded conditions and you're struggling just to get your gasket in. Look at that. It don't line up. I can't remember. It's been so long since I worked on a small block Ford. I've had several small blocks. I had a 351 Windsor in the Torino a long, long time ago. I had a 302 roller motor in the black 64 Fairlane. And I can't remember actual header gaskets not lining up if you flipped it one way or another. But it's just something you need to look out for. And what I'm going to do, okay, we already seen, this is the way that goes. I'm going to mark this. This is the front. We'll mark this the back, and we know the side we wrote on is the side that's going to be facing the fender of the car. Let me show you something else I do. If I can do it with one hand, it makes things a little easier on me. I go ahead and I cut my gasket in half. Sometimes, in really difficult situations, I will separate each and every gasket. Cut it here and here. This time we won't have to do that, I don't think. But it just makes it easier to get your gaskets in instead of fighting the whole thing all at once. Just want to show you that. Now we're going to get these gaskets on this thing and bolt this header up tight. Alright, let's see if this works out. Just one question to any of you people out there. You can answer in your comments. For those of you who make your own videos, do your neighbors give you funny looks when they see you out there talking to the camera? When I was just doing that gasket, try to keep my arm out of the way, I just happened to notice my neighbors who are outside. They're way across the field, but they can probably hear me talking. Not exactly what I'm saying, but I'm just wondering what it looked like. There I am staring down at a head. They probably don't know what I'm staring down at. Just a yapping away by myself. I notice a lot of people are a little camera shy too, especially if you tell them you got a YouTube channel. They just look at you like you just pointed a gun at them or something. I don't get that. What's with the camera shyness? Yeah, as long as you're not doing something very, very embarrassing, who cares if you're on YouTube? I don't get that. Okay. While I was talking, I hope you pay attention to what I was doing there. I took one of the bolts out. Now I got another bolt still in there. And I put my gasket in place, and now I'm going to start that bolt back in there. And after I get this one far enough in to where I trust it to hold the weight of the header, I will remove the other bolt, and the gasket is in. See how that works out. Now, if you can hear Angel, she's barking at the neighbors. That's what they get for staring at me. Anyway, alright. We need to loosen that bolt up a little bit. I got it too tight. This was wanting to make sure I didn't have it cross-threaded. That's why I turned it in so far. But we don't want to pinch your gasket. There we go. Oh yeah. This is going way too smooth. It's got me worried. You know how we kind of get superstitious when everything just seems to go too easy. It makes you worry that something bad's going to happen with the project that is. We'll see. Not much fingering, and as you can see, I got pretty small hands. I'm not a big guy, 5'7", 155. And so I don't have huge hands, and you can see how tight of a fit it is for me. I think I'm gonna have to. I think my header dropped a little bit. If I can reach down here and get a hold of the whole thing, put it in. It's wanting to be stubborn now. Probably should take that spark plug out. I think that would give me a little bit more room for my hand. Not much, but every little bit helps. Okay, I can't really get in there. Remember, we had that bolt in, so it will go. Let's try that. Another problem is, sometimes you can be holding the header up with one hand, but you need that particular hand so you can turn it around the other way. There's really no easy way to get to these. Okay, we'll try this bolt again. Reach down in here again, see if we can pull this thing up. As you can see, there's really no room to get a grip on anything. Tempted to put the jack under this thing. Uh-oh, I think I feel threads. Put a little pressure on it. Okay, hang on. Okay, YouTube, this side isn't going to go as smooth as we thought it was. Got all my bolts in and started drawing them down, and I started noticing, well, I got that gasket to seat finally. But see how I can move that gasket back and forth? It's not seating. You can get a feeler gauge in there too. So that's going to leak, and that's going to sound terrible. And I figured out why. There you go, you can see it now. And I figured out why I can't get the draw it tight against there. First of all, we're hitting that bolt there. And I don't know if you can see it in the dark. Let me move my light. You can see that bolt's hitting on the corner. That's not too bad, but we'll have to dent the header. And there's something that's really got it bound tight. Let me crawl under here and I'll show you. And we're going to take it back off and make some modifications. Going to do some more cutting on my $400 headers, but like I said, these fit a 71, and I was told by a friend of mine that the difference, they look a lot alike and are really similar, but the 70 and 71 Torinos are an inch wider. See how I'm hitting there? Get that light back over here. It is up against their solid, so I am going to make a cut like that. I'm going to just start there, and I'm going to cut at an angle there and there, and then I'm going to go all the way around on the other side, and then I'll be able to bend it together and weld it back together, and that will be pointed that way. But this is what we got to do to make these fit this car. And you know, you don't want rattles. I don't like cutting and bending and beating and denting headers, but if you got rattles and everything, you know, I don't like that, especially on a street car. And I'm hitting there. We'll have to flatten that out. And that's why my gasket isn't seating at the top. And if that doesn't make any sense to you. Oh, my stomach muscles are sore from doing sit-ups, getting in and out from underneath this car. But to explain why that would make your gaskets not seat, of course it makes all sense. These headers are trying, when I'm drawing these bolts down, the bottom of these headers are trying to swing out so this top can seat up against there, and they can't because they're hitting stuff. So, okay, we're gonna do what we gotta do to make this work. Looks like this video is going to go into another day.